The Bud List. It's also time where we take a break and read some viewer mail. For the year 2024, we get a ton of viewer mail. We're always here to read your questions and concerns. Oh, classic. Dear Wildes, love the show. Thank you. Where's Nick? Sincerely, Ryan and Brian. Good question. I should have addressed it earlier, R&B. Nick is at a poker tournament with some professional poker players, I believe, and some celebrities, and fellow Fox Sports employee, Rob Gronkowski, and
Brew
Cowboy Brew.
I get on there.
Who, I would like to say, got a new shirt.
Yes, he did.
Wow.
Oh, Cowboy.
At
He's
least
covered up. Yeah, that ain't bad.
That's a good look.
That's not bad. That's my second favorite.
Check out PokerStars Big Game something. I don't know. I don't know. It was up and I didn't have it memorized. It's streaming. You should check it out and root for Nick to make some money.
Yes, we're all rooting for Nick here. All right, let's get to it. Third on the Bud list, your guy, Greg, C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
Now, this is tough because you're playing Detroit. It's going to be a tough weekend. But the fact is this, C.J., you have to play better. We can handle the loss. Nobody's going to shame you for losing to the Lions. But you need to play well. 2 of your last 3 games, you have had a passer rating below 60.
Not great.
Guess how many times that happened last year? All last season.
None.
Once.
Oh.
In fact, it was only once under 75.
Was it the Jets game?
I don't know which game exactly, but it was only one. It might have been the Jets. It probably was the Jets game, and he got hurt in that game. But you got to play better. We get it. Your offensive line is abysmal. Abysmal. All right. Nico Collins has been out. Your top receiver might be out this week. Stephon Diggs out for the season. We get it. But here's the deal. You set a standard. You set this standard last year by stepping in there in what looked like a bad situation and playing lights out football. So now the bar is really high. So you got to go out against the Lions, not necessarily beat them, but you do need to play well. You'll still be 6-4 if you lost. Still look like you're on your way to the playoffs, but go out there and have a good game against the Lions. CJ, I believe in you. All right, at number 2, Caleb. I think this is obvious. And we talked about a little bit ago, and here's the deal. 10, 15 years ago, heck, even 3 years ago, it wouldn't have been the same situation. We get it. Rookie quarterback, we expect you to be up and down like the veritable roller coaster, all right? But things have changed because last year, as I said, C.J. Stroud came in and didn't look like a rookie for even a game, all right? And then this year, Jaden Daniels has come in and taken off right from the start. So now we do expect you're supposed to be better than those guys. And so the expectations and the bar has been raised, fairly or not. And so you've had 2 bad games in a row, below 55% completions in your last 2 games. So you got to get out here and play well. And I know a few weeks ago you were looking great. But when you really examine those games, you look great against Carolina. You look great against Jacksonville. Those teams have won 3 games combined. You had a nice 125 passer rating, but again, it was them. Can you do it against a good team? And that's what you get. And New England's not great, but, the defense has had its moments.
Yeah.
But more importantly, you're facing another rookie. All right, Drake May, a rookie that was drafted behind you, a rookie that doesn't have the receivers you have, the defense you have, the run game that you have. And so you have to go out there, CJ, and play well. I do believe in you. All right, at number 1, again, I think obvious, Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, right? All right, you're facing Lamar Jackson. In his words, what he said about Patrick Mahomes, you're kryptonite because Lamar is 5-1 against you. He's already beaten you once this season. I know you had a great game, but Joe, you're past the just individual stats phase of your career. I mean, that's nice. You want to keep putting up big numbers, and we're impressed to some degree, but we are looking at wins. We are looking at W's. And if you guys lose this game, you fall to 4-6, and your playoff hopes while still alive would really be on life support. All right, so you have to go out there and not only play well, because as Greg Jennings said earlier in the show, You do have to play outstanding to win this game against Baltimore. It's in Baltimore. It's going to be a tough chore, but you are up to it. I believe in Lamar more, but I do believe in you too, Joe. So let's see what you do.
All right, my man, C.J. Stroud on the bud list. I like that. He definitely has to play better despite all of what you mentioned. I'm just going to jump straight to mine. And can we throw the 49ers on the bud list?
The whole team?
The entire team.
Wow.
The 49ers.
I hated that.
Yeah, and this is why. Because some people were asking, are you guys the Cowboys? And we're just overlooking it?
Who
was
asking
I was talking
that?
to Ryan and Brian. They emailed me.
I was about to say, right?
Like,
I mean, it's a good take, but nobody was asking.
The 10-year-olds say
when we look at this
12
team,
now.
we look at this team. They're injured. Well, we look at the Cowboys. They're injured.
Yeah.
We look at what the Cowboys don't do well. We thought they were going to be a really good defense. They're not. We thought the 49ers were going to have a really good defense. They don't. It's better than the Cowboys. You got a game ahead of the Cowboys, but in your division, you're third. I mean, when we look at the remaining schedule, like, who really are you? Because we know who you've played. We know you've had impressive wins, but those came against the Jets, the Patriots, and the Seahawks, the only team in your division that you've decided to beat. You beat the Cowboys, but I'm kind of thinking you're really right there with the Cowboys.
Yikes.
And so when we look at the remainder of your schedule, like, are you going to wake up? Is CMC the antidote you need to turn your season around? Now, I'm not going to sit here and honestly say I believe it, because you're going to have to show me. You're going to have to show me who you really are. Because if you are the team that we all thought coming into this season with all these Avengers, with this great play caller as your head coach, with this quarterback that's going to get paid, be that. Be great. Be the team that can actually run it back and get back where you once were the last couple seasons. You know who else thought that they were going to be able to run it right back? Oh, yeah, the Cowboys. Look, not a whole lot changed, but the way you're playing better change, or you're going to be at home with guess who? The Cowboys.
Wow. All right, look. I don't mind you putting the Niners on the bud list. Give them a little motivation because the schedule is tough. You had the schedule up. They do have a long road to hoe, and that division is jam-packed, so I don't mind that. But you went too far. The Cowboys? And then as you were doing that, it dawned on me, oh, yeah. Greg's the one.
With what?
He's the one that didn't pick the Niners to make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true.
So he misused the bud list. You don't want them to turn it around.
This was motivation.
This was more indictment. You do not, you want to be right on your picks
using
just
the
like the
bud
rest
list
of
as
it.
selfish mean?
You know what, Wild?
You don't want them to turn it around
Sometimes you have
and make
to
the playoffs.
address where you are so that people can take note and say, you know what? We do suck right now. We better
like
turn
Dak
it around.
said. Dak took inventory. That what you want to say?
Hey,
look, they not the Cowboys. Okay, the defense isn't what it used to be. Last year, top 3 last couple years. It's still top 15, top 10, and the Cowboys are not that. All right, and they have had injuries just like the Cowboys. But what they do to the Cowboys when they play? They do this thing in tackle football.
Yeah.
They play each other. And the Niners show that we are on a whole different level than the Cowboys. So that was my only beef with your take.
Who else have they beaten?
Seattle's not a cream puff. They're not.
You can't even get it out. Yeah.
They're not a cream puff like the Cowboys.
Show me this week.
All right. They do. I don't mind them on there.
Brew, I have 2 additions to the bud list.
2?
One is my own, and one is a special edition of the Sports Media Ombudsman.
Oh, okay.
Because Nick is not here.
Okay.
I will start with my own. As everybody knows, Mac Jones was traded to the Jacksonville Jaguars, where he backed up Trevor Lawrence, and I coined the phrase "iron sharpens iron."
I remember that.
The idea.
I remember that.
The idea being 2 very sharp things will sharpen each other. That being iron. Well, now, unfortunately, Trevor Lawrence is hurt, and it looks like Mac Jones is going to start. Now, there is a famous song by Eminem. It's about a gentleman who throws up in the bathroom after eating his mom's pasta. There's also a lyric that says, opportunity comes once in a lifetime.
Once in a lifetime.
That's interesting. Not true. Opportunity comes all the time, especially for Mac Jones. He started for 3 years for the Patriots. He looks across the field and sees Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's on his 4th team, and now he's finally good. So it's not necessarily true. That being said, Mac Jones, you should take this opportunity. Play within yourself. Don't do this. On your 3rd snap, when you got in garbage time, what'd you do? Oh, it's your old ways. Mac Jones, listen to me. And I'm sure you will, because you're not getting a lot of national coverage. I'm not sure if you get a lot of local coverage. OKW is one of the few people on Mac Jones Island. I'm all by myself. Maybe some family members and your dog that I see on Instagram sometimes. Yes, I follow Mac Jones. He posts pictures of his dog's birthday the other day. Mac Jones, play within yourself. Be cool. Who knows what it's going to lead to? One thing
cool? Wow.
Yeah, one thing I know is this. I know everyone's going to say, like, he wins a game, sure, and then you hand the reins back over to Trevor Lawrence if he gets healthy and doesn't need surgery. That's probably what's going to happen. Are we sure about that? We sure that's what Doug Peterson, who's on the is probably going to get fired after a disappointing year? What's Doug Peterson going to do? I think Doug Peterson is known for 2 things. 1, wearing visors. 2, putting in the backup quarterback and winning the Super Bowl against the other famous coach who also sat his most expensive paid quarterback and put in a younger quarterback who also then won the Super Bowl.
Okay.
If you play okay, Doug Peterson, the door is not closed. Doug Peterson says, why did I get famous? Is it wearing visors? No.
I like that. I want to ask you, both of you, this question. What do you think are the chances? Let's take the contract out of it, right? Because Trevor is their guy because he's got the max contract, right? Or not max, but $250 million contract. So take that away. What do you think are the chances of Mac playing well enough where without the contract in the way, they would say, you know what, we're going to leave him in there. I want to hear both of you on that.
It's not going to happen.
Because of the contract?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. If you can remove it, do you think, like, because Trevor's been that bad?
Look, if Mac Jones starts to ball out and just runs the offense and makes it look the way that they were hoping Trevor could make it look, and the contract is not a thing, yeah, you ride it out. But the contract is a thing.
We're here. I told you we'd eventually be
here.
You did
tell it. You did say
I said that. Watch Doug Peterson.
You're right about it. He got nothing to lose. He's not going to be there next year. I mean, unless Mac had a great run.
Okay, now it's time for the sports media ombudsman. Going on the list, a baseball super agent, Scott Boras, at the GM meetings in San Antonio. Here's the line. I did not make this up. Scott, I was pun familiar with your game. As you know, outside of Fridays, in the last 2 minutes of the segment before we go home, we lift the ban on puns in the show. There's been a little bit of an uprising within the staff, getting a little pun happy. So I promised the staff, I said, you know what? Scott Boras went a little pun crazy in these GM meetings talking about some of his players. I said, I'll listen to it and you can gauge my reaction. I'll admit.
Those were good.
The Snelling salts have created a lot of whiffs. You're good, Boris. You're good. That's me, sports media ombudsman.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.